since I've been able to say this, but how about them Maple Leafs?
We needed that. Oh my gosh.
Wasn't that just like in every single thing about that game was good?
Yeah, I was already thinking at like near the end of the game, I'm like, we're gonna have to probably say like our top performers and then say who we didn't think played well. And I was like, who didn't play well?
Yeah.
That was just epic.
I have a few bright spots, and I want to see if you disagree with any of them.
Okay.
So obviously Kallgren.
Yeah, we got to start right off the bat.
35 saves. There was some issues with rebound control that he did get a little lucky at times, but like made the saves that he needed to save some tips from the point.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Didn't he look like how Mrazek is supposed to look? No. Like that athletic, like kind of movement.
Well, you remember what Nick Barden, who we're going to have on the podcast, everyone who's watching this, we're going to have Nick Marley's reporter on the podcast later this week. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them if you want us to ask him about him, whether it's about Kallgren or other Kallgren. Sorry, we're going to start saying his name.
Kallgren.
And he was saying that Wall is more the Mrazek type. He's athletic, flopping all around, making the crazy saves. And Kallgren is like the technically sound goaltender, a little bit more like a Jack Campbell or Freddie Anderson. And like there was times when he was like sprawling out, but he seemed like he was in good position all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, you don't make those, it's not like many noticeable saves where it's like, oh wow, like Odinger or whatever his name was on that save on Nylander. It's just like, there's times like that when you make the spectacular save, which is often because you're slightly out of position. But if you're more of a technical, like Curtis Joseph was like, spectacular saves just because he's jumping all across from like the other guy's crease back into his. So like it's just like you're not going to notice as many.
He made some big saves too.
Yeah, and he looked good moving the puck. Looked like the guys had faith in him. So we're obviously going to agree on that. The next one I had, which is a little bit more obscure, is I don't care.
This is bright spots.
Bright spots. I don't have any negative spots. I don't care if it's Clifford. But not having Simmons out there, that fourth line was like good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
It looked pretty good. And granted, you have Kasha, who's a top 6 forward, playing on there with an ex like top 50 player, top 30 player in the NHL, Jason Spezza. So like
Clifford Clifford had 4 hits this game, which is more than like Simmons is supposed to be doing. Like granted, it's limited ice time, and Clifford actually had 11 minutes, and usually Simmons only gets like 6, 7, like 7 to 9, 9 if he's lucky, and Clifford had 11, but he was out there hitting guys. Yeah,
and like Clifford's not a fast guy, but it just seemed like he had more jump. I don't know, like that line just seemed like they came alive a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see what they do down the line when Matthews comes back, because another one of my bright spots we can get into next is Nick Robertson, who he didn't look phenomenal by any means, but he looked good. He was making some puck steals. The thing is about guys like him, he's going to get in puck battles. He's not ever going to shy away from them. You know, and like he might not win them all because he's a smaller guy, but he's going to go into the corner no matter what. That's how he does get injured. It's like Kasha, except Kasha's bigger. You know? So like I would like to see Robertson stay in the lineup, but like
I want him to develop more, so give him the time.
When Matthews comes back, do you put Kerfoot on the fourth line with Kasha and Spezza? Because that sounds like a sick fourth line.
Yeah, that's a Stanley Cup winning fourth line.
And I think it also probably depends who you're playing in the playoffs. If you're playing a team which is a little bit bigger,
we're talking about Florida.
Well, I mean, even Tampa. I mean, Tampa, you probably want more speed. But it's going to depend on how the series is going. But like, not having Simmons in there was actually made the line better. So I'm okay with him taking a seat, a few more, play him sometimes, like I'm sure Clifford was just shot out of a cannon because he hasn't played for a while. Right?
Yeah, so, very true. Yeah. And he was doing well with the Marlies too.
Yeah. My next bright spot is the Boosh. We've talked about him a lot.
Yeah.
But that hit he threw on Jason Robertson, just like he wins his puck battles. He's just like pushing guys. He defended Kallgren a couple times in front of the net, and it's just like, it's so nice to have.
He's so good.
Yeah. The Boosh. The Boosh is on the loosh.
He led the team in hits again. Like,
of course,
he's like consistently doing that now, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Who did you play with tonight?
Was it Riley? He mainly played with Riley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a little bit of time with someone else for a second, but it's probably like a line change or something. But with Riley, and they were great together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Riley needs that kind of stay home guy because he can be kind of sporadic trying to jump up with the play.
Yeah. So I have two more. The next one is I thought that Willie seemed to come alive a little bit more this game.
Yeah, I had him too.
Yeah, he was like jumping like play more. Willie. Should have scored 3 goals. Yeah, he looked like old Willie, and that's the thing. Is like he's playing on a line with Kerfoot and Robertson, so it just goes to show like he doesn't need anyone else really on his line. He can drive his own line, which opens up a lot of opportunities for whatever line combinations you want to do going into the future, right? Like you could go that 3 deep, like offensive lines where you still have Kerfoot, Robertson on a line with Willie, and your second line is like Tavares, Kasha, and frig. Who am I missing here? I'm missing someone.
Who do you have? This is third line?
No, this would be your second line.
Oh, second line.
Yeah.
Tavares, Willie, and then like either Robertson, Kerfoot.
Well, I was thinking even if you could put Nylander, Kerfoot, and Robertson together as just a line.
Oh.
Then it would open up for 3 like really good lines, right?
Yeah.
And my last bright spot was Rasmus Sandin is just so good.
Yep. He just comes back and just looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. The goal he scored, the defensive play, how he's always up in the rush, and like more times than not, the team will be in the offensive zone when he's out. So like,
he's like solidified that he's has to be in the lineup. Yeah. Like he's in our top 6.
Mm-hmm.
At all times.
Yeah. And even Liljegren, so many bright spots. I can't pick one player. Engvall, that third line is amazing. Mikheyev can't score unless it's on an empty net.
Oh my gosh.
How many chances?
8 shots.
Yeah. And like breakaway, like good opportunities. It's just the speed that guy has is absolutely insane. That third line is perfect.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All the lines tonight, just the combination that they put out in this game, perfect. Yeah. Like you said, it just worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you have any negatives about this one?
No. Like even Justin Hall, I was like, he was like maybe the weakest one out there, and he played well. So it just shows that the whole team did well. The only player I had on my spotlight that you didn't have was Johnny T. He got to go up to the first line, and he looked like he belonged there. Yeah. He played awesome.
Is that? Do you think that's the Marner effect, or do you think that was him taking more responsibility for having to be an offensive presence with Matthews gone?
It almost feels like, he felt like he had to step up because he just seemed to be a little quicker, and he ended up with a goal and an assist and a couple hits. Like he was just doing literally everything. 2-way guy, and I don't know. He just looked awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I don't think it is a Marner effect. It's no matter what, like, you should be playing like that.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both, right? And And with a guy like Bunting, you don't have to be the first in the corners. Whereas with Nylander and Robertson, you might be do that a little bit more, right? But I mean, there's some people saying like, well, if it is the Marner effect, and then when Matthews comes back, do you split up the line? And the answer is absolutely not.
No, you can't.
You can't. Sorry. What you could potentially do in the playoffs is put Tavares, Matthews, and Marner on a single line if you need goals, because you know Willie can draw a line, right? And then now we have that third line that can be the second line so that they don't have to. So so many lineup options. Yeah. And so here's the next question.
Okay.
We talked a lot yesterday about the Leafs needing a goalie.
Yep.
Deadline is in 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
So there's 2 more games before then and now?
6 days.
And Kallgren is probably going to get the next 2.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's say he obviously keeping shutouts is probably not going to happen. But let's say
what if he only let
a 920 save percentage?
Oh my god.
Do you take a chance?
The rookie
ride with Jack Campbell and Kallgren and whatever you want to do with Mrazek. Do you go that route, or do you still go out and get a guy like Anthony Stolarz?
Well, first you get rid of Mrazek. I still want him gone.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. Cap space.
Yeah.
There we go. 2, like after a shutout win, like I just want to say yes. But at the same time, when it comes to the playoffs and maybe he starts to slip up because of the pressure, then I'm like, damn, I wish we would have got that real good backup. But in the moment, I just want to say, him and Jack, they can play together.
And I know everyone is going to make it a big deal, but Kallgren is the guy at the start of the year that we were talking about on the podcast that went to the Swedish Hockey League finals and played I think he might have won the MVP. So
they mentioned it on the broadcast.
They did.
He just won, and now he comes here and does this.
The other thing too, he chose here. He wasn't drafted. Kallgren chose to be signed by the Maple Leafs because he liked how passionate the fan base was and how this is like the center of the hockey universe. Sorry, everybody else. It is.
Did you hear the crowd? Like every save, going insane.
Yeah.
And when he won and Kallgren was celebrating, he did a little jump. Bomb. I was like, you just won the fan base over.
Yeah. Well, I was watching with my girlfriend. She's like, why aren't they more excited for him? The players, because at the end they're just like, But I'm sure there's been videos of them in the locker room after, like,
oh my god, they're gonna go, they're gonna freak out.
Yeah. And I did like to see, because I was like, with 40 seconds left, I was like
nervous.
Well, no, I wasn't nervous. I was like, they better give him a standing ovation with 10 seconds left.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm always worried that there's too many suits in the crowd that they don't care. But it was nice that everyone stood up and gave him that standing ovation and stuff like that. Because that's how you build people up. And I would love to see us still do that with Jack Campbell. Has his first good game when he comes back, is to show that we as a fan base still are rooting for him.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah. That's basically that's all I got. That was just a fun game to watch.
Yeah. An actual enjoyable game.
Yeah. There was never any fear that they were going to come back for me.
No.
We just dominated them the entire.
No weird slip ups or breakaways.
Mm-hmm.
There might have been a 2-on-1 once, but nothing insane. It was just a perfect game for once, and I'm so happy.
Yeah. Now I asked Twitter this poll, and I want to get your answer. I don't know if you answered it.
I didn't see it.
Would you rather right now
have
Jason Robertson and Nick Robertson, or William Nylander and Alex Nylander?
Willie and
Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, just because I know you get Willie, and right away that's already better. Then I'll take his brother on a flyer.
Yeah, the only reason that like there was some hesitation is like Jason is younger. He's a point a game player in the NHL so far. So on a team that can't score goals very much.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's and Nick got a hit on him.
Did he?
I don't think they counted it as a hit, but it was behind the net. Yeah.
Nice.
And he gave him a little cross check to the back.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's interesting right now in the Western Conference because Dallas is like ahead of Vegas right now, fighting for that playoff spot. Do you want to make a bold prediction and say Vegas is going to miss the playoffs, or do you think that they're?
No.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think they do.
I don't think there's any.
That would be bold.
Yeah.
Speaking of the West, that's next. The Winnipeg Jets game next.
Is it? I thought it was the Carolina game.
No, I think it's the Peg.
Oh no.
So now we're going to go right back to just a rivalry that's been built out of.
Oh no, it is Hurricanes on Thursday.
Oh, is it? I thought they said the Jets.
We play the Jets March 31st.
Oh, I was gonna say they're talking about on the broadcast, so I was like,
I was gonna be pissed.
I just assumed it was the next game. Like, why would they mention it?
Yeah, if Matthews wasn't back for that Jets game, I would be pissed.
Yeah, that's actually pretty true. The Canes. Oh, okay, so that's one.
Yeah, and then the Predators, Devils, Canadians, and then we get to the juicy part where we play the Panthers, Bruins, Jets, Flyers, Lightning, Panthers, Stars again, and that's
playoff games.
The start of the playoff games. Yeah.
Wow. And then Din was mentioning, because we're talking about how awesome the defensive pairings were, and he's like, imagine just throwing Muzzin in.
Exactly. In a reduced role.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to play him the 24 minutes that you were playing him before. Play him in 18 minutes, you know, at least until the playoffs. And then you can kind of ride him a little bit more. But, you know, if you don't need him now.
And then we had a fan message us and talking about an AHL team.
Okay.
Callie has been real good in the AHL in the games against the Sens. You can use that in your pod.
Yeah, well, anyone
he went to all of them.
The Sens, so it was funny because we were talking to him about the Senators last night, the Belleville Senators. He was like, "Oh, the Belleville Senators just passed the Marlies in the standings." And I was like, "Isn't it kind of sad that they just passed them and they're also last in one of the worst teams in the NHL? Like, shouldn't your AHL team be really good? You know?"
You would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it for us today. Thanks for the comments, everyone, on the last few videos. Just getting the talking going. We always appreciate that. Like we said, please let us know any questions you would have for Nick. He goes to all of the Marlies games. So he has like really good information. Nick, if you're watching this, we're going to try and get him to say one bad thing about one Marlies player.
That's a good goal.
Yeah. One negative thing, because
we need Den.
Yeah. Den will draw it at him for sure. Yeah. Do you have, in case we don't do a pregame for the Hurricanes on Thursday, do you have any bold predictions?
Well, my bold prediction was pretty wrong, and yours, you almost got yours.
Yeah.
Tavares with 2. When he got that one early, I went, "Oh my God, he's gonna nail it again." Yeah. Against Hurricane, I'll say 3-1
for the Leafs.
Leafs.
Okay,
3-1. He's only gonna let one in.
I have a bold prediction.
Oh,
the Boosh is gonna score.
Oh,
and I might put some money down on it.
Oh, he took some mean clappers this game.
He does sometimes. He gets close.
Like, if it ever hits the net, like it's going in.
It's going in.
It got blocked, and the guy has to go off.
Yeah. And
that's
then
a good one.
I have one little trivia question for you.
Oh no.
Who was the famous Leaf who wore number 89 like Nick Robertson?
Oh, shoot. 89. A famous Leaf. Was that Gary?
No. Think Sundin. Think the line. No. Alex McGillney.
McGillney. Oh.
Yeah.
I think doesn't Din have his jersey?
Probably. Yeah. I think he has most of them. I just have other teams' jerseys that I don't cheer for. Yeah. All right. That's it for us. We'll see you guys after the Carolina game. And we're also, like I said, we're going to have that Nick Barden interview out pretty soon.
Get him on.
And we'll talk some Marlies. So that's it for us. Peace out.